West, what's up, man? I have a little lighting since I can't open my door up here. Bring a little light into the picture here. Put my mic on. Tiny Mallet was a success, man. Looked nice. I just want to straighten this up so it's workable here so I can add this piece to the other ones. Maybe before I do this, I should actually do these little pieces because this guy's a bit wonky. Brad, crazy, crusty, like nasty, crusty. Welcome. Not trying to dismantle your name, just trying to get it right. All right, so I'm going to assemble these three pieces here. Actually, it's four now. And it may be like this. Let's have fun with it, man. Let's have fun with it. Oh, I had a guard on here. Hold on one second. Gotta protect my chisels and protect my my workpiece a little bit. Got the little heater on in here now. I'm thinking maybe I'm getting it too warm. It's like so cold, so wet. And just see what I'm doing here. Let's see this. I had to go in to get my phone so I can read the chat from y'all, but I was not wanting to do that because I knew I would get soaked again. I should have put a little stop cut here. That was a mistake. You know, I could have taken my time with that and made it a little bit better, I think. That was a little sloppy. The small piece like this, like, no reason why I couldn't have done that. Carrie, welcome. Yeah, this is a good thing for me to go live at this point too, because I know some folks, and I didn't call Ruiz back the other night. He called me. So I don't know if he's driving trucks or he'll pop in, or maybe I can get Gandara in here too. Some of my folks that haven't been in a while because they can't do the early morning stuff. I thought maybe if I did an afternoon one, might help with that. Hey, do tap that like button. What do we got here? Please finish Grandma's rustic dong rack, rustic dong rack before Christmas, son. Yeah, I don't know what that is, bro. But that's a miss on that one. If that was a joke. Does sound like a dog crying. Pardon me for 1 second. Let me make sure that I handle that. Just let the dogs in, and then wanted out. Now it's crying. Nasty out here. Wonder who oh, somebody pulled him off. Thank you. Appreciate it, y'all. I'm sure he's made a lot of rustic stuff besides sitting on the internet trolling. Who's crying? What's going on? Wind wanted to stay out. Oh, it's not a small thing out there. Pretty chilly out there. All right, sorry, folks, or maybe I'm not sorry. What we got here? Yeah, no grandma dongs on this channel. Plywood said he's got his mail call later today. Yeah, Wes is killing it on his channel, as Carrie said. BK's in the house. Welcome, BK. Yep. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Double tap that screen. Make sure you like. Thank y'all. All right. Let me get this rustic dong rack. Maybe that's what I wanted. Maybe he had no idea. Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. Guess what it is? Rustic dong rack. All right, so this joint falls into that joint, but I want to glue it up now while I've got time here. I have a couple more pieces to add to it, but they're smaller. I also have a couple of curved pieces I bent early on that I want to add to it as well. So we got those two pieces together. I think it is it's time that I glue that up, man. Let's go ahead and do it, even though I didn't bring my glue bottle out like I should have. It's always hard to remember. Yeah. And the good thing about the way that's in there is that it naturally wants to stay in there. Using minimal amounts of tight bond too here. I don't really need that much because it actually sticks in there by itself. We're gonna put it in to stay here this time. Oops, wrong way. Right. There we go. And I like the intersections and stuff. Someone's I was in India today. Who's in the Rumpelstiltskin? Welcome, Rumpelstiltskin. That's one story when I would tell it to my kids, and I'm a good storyteller, man. I will always make a mistake telling that story for some reason. There's multiple arcs in this story. You got the Miller and Miller's daughter and all of these things. I've got a problem with this piece, and that is that one of the curve set of curve cuts that I made, one set of curve cuts that I made, went too far, and then it wants to bend there, but I still think it's a usable piece. I want to take some of this top off, really. Let's see, that's the problem right there. Y'all can probably see that where you're at right there. Rumble said T20 series starts tomorrow, though. So we're gonna I'll try one more time to fix this. I think I'm gonna give this one last go. I almost think this piece is a loss here, where I could take it from here up, and I think it would still add something. I'm gonna cut this whole section off. We're gonna work with it from that spot up. Not very hard, right? I want to use my angle grinder. Pretty bad, actually. I feel like that would be the tool to use on this right here. But then you might end up taking too much off. Probably dowel these together some way, shape, or form. I'm gonna pull it up together. I kind of got them clamped together how I want them, but I want to smooth them out a lot, smoothing them out a lot. Somebody talking football? Oh yeah, cricket. Okay, yeah. We don't do much cricket over here. I mean, the Indian and Pakistani guys know it over here, but and then when I was in England, they knew it over there. It was like Cricket World Series time, so I think it was South Africa versus India in that one. But yeah, no, we don't know much about it because our cricket-like sport is baseball. As you may know. Which I told a story on someone else's live the other night that I had an Irish kid stay with me during the I don't want to call it the troubles. It was in the early '90s. There was some bad stuff going on in Ireland, and one of the kids from one of the worst neighborhoods came to stay with me and my family, and I took him. He went everywhere with me. Baseball camp, so he had never touched a baseball. And I was at a pretty elite baseball camp. Like these kids all knew how to play really well. He had never thrown or caught a baseball. By the end of camp, though, he wasn't too bad. He could swing a bat and all of that. I could say there were worse players at that camp than him. The ostrich egg. I like that. Oh, well, Carrie, you got to be specific, you know. I think Carrie means American football. The prolate spheroid one. You know, y'all know that's the name of that shape. A lemon shape. prolate spheroid. That's what that shape is called. An oblong sphere is what it is. Prolated or stretched out sphere. I know it all, right? Football shaped. Football. And yeah, we in America, our football has gotten more and more like that. More and more aerodynamic. As the culture of the game shifted more to throwing long passes. Here for a special edition Dad's Workshop because I'm going to miss next Monday and Tuesday, and I want to make sure I give my members and folks an opportunity to hang out. And also, it is important that I get on here. Actually, Heather's with the dog at the vet, so kind of helping me not think too much about that. I was kind of sitting in my room watching Wes's live and getting my mind all wrapped up in that stuff. So said I told him I was coming back today, and here I am. I'm gonna go back, and we're gonna find out whether this concept of bending plywood really, works, or like whether we can shape it properly here and make get rid of all this jagged stuff and make it look halfway decent. I think we can. I think it's gonna be some like angle grinding to it and some glue filling, potentially even some resin, which you guys know is a 4-letter word for me, resin. Did you Wes, did you see Schmoke's comment on your live stream about your tiny mallet? Totes adorbs. Couldn't have said it better myself. Totes adorbs. I might have to use resin just to get in all these cracks. You just paint it with a layer of it. All right, let's experiment. Let's try it because someone said I got to prime it after that to paint it. That sucks. I don't want to do that. Do I have to? Oh, it's way up there. Way up there. Actually, I think there may be some resin in one of these containers down here. Wood glue. You know what? Let's mix up wood glue for the moment because I can't get up there. It's a little bit high for me. I don't want to make a mistake here. We'll try to fill it with wood glue, which I knew I can paint. All right, as opposed to resin, which I know I'm gonna have to get primer for. Thank y'all for being here. Do make sure that you double tap that screen, like this video. Getting kind of like a dragon's back here. Pretty scary. make sure that it is not smooth. Yeah, it's got to still be porous, is what you're saying, Carrie. This is actually not bad texture wise. There's like a couple little spots I want to fix, and then I want to get the top like curved over or get a angle out of it. Kind of got two projects going right now. I'm just putting one aside to work on the other. Is what I've been doing. Both center on using the wood bender. I'm gonna use that other glue that I got just a little bit. This portion sponsored by wood glue. Adon Lopez, welcome. Okay, hijack the chat. Wes says he wants to hijack the chat for a fast question. Go ahead. Real fast. No, I'm just kidding. It's be as slow as you want. This one in front of you. And then this one, the light feature that I was wanted to be working on. 100% Wes, ask a question. Never used HFT wood glue before. They're going to get an honest review today. What kind of a tip is that for somebody who really uses wood glue? Like, I mean, you can just take the top off here. That looks like paper glue to me. See that? That looks like paper glue. Don't try to fool me. I'm not going to buy it. Lumpy like cottage cheese. Kind of like this though, because it's like putty. I can fill in the cracks with it. I need some of this. I got some of this dust over here to help me with this. Waiting on that question from what my tiny mallet pendant I just made. Should it be head up or head down when suspending from a necklace? I think Thor's hammer is like upside down. That's my only reference of a pendant with a that I've ever seen anybody wear. Thor's hammer is usually head down, and it does have that Thor's hammer look to it. Rumpelstiltskin said head up would signify aggression. So head up then, Wes, right? I mean, keep it real. That glue, I don't know what that smells like. It smells like paint, actually. Interesting glue there. Now I'm going to sand over that glue. It's going to turn this dust into like a paste. As all of the people on here already know this tactic, right? You got a sacrificial, and I've got a whole bunch of sandpaper just donated to me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even use this paper for this. So I'm gonna say mallet head down. That's gonna be my answer, Wes. Double tap that screen though. what it means to have the mallet up. Yeah, that's why I was like, the aggression thing, you know, you're keeping it real. Now, I don't think I have the wood to channel in anything on these. And I think what I need to do is I need to stick these strips, these LED strips along this edge, or it's going to have to be along this edge. The problem with putting them along this edge is it's not going to run straight. If I put it along this edge, it will be able to be run straight. Right? So you see how I caress that edge? That's how I roll. Just get used to it. We treat wood nicely around here. You like that? You like that? Good. Like when I was little and the adults would say, "Nice hands, Calvin." Nah, I didn't get told that. I was a nice kid. This could get ugly. So interesting how when you line plywood up on its side, the grain looks like it's aligned, you know, like it's oriented. But you take plywood apart or see it fall apart, and you know how badly it's not oriented or arranged at all. Not even a little. Well, maybe it is in a way I don't understand, but it's not based on what I've seen. Head down would give a more pendulum-like swing. Yeah. Yeah, I think head up, you would kind of, yeah, that's a good point there, Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin, good point of the day right there. I think they're right about that. I might, let me get a piece of grit, big grit sandpaper here, or low grit, whatever you want to call it. MIT. Sponsored by West Does It. That sip of tea was sponsored to you by West Does It. This is what I'm going to do here. And y'all should probably see me do this. It would be good for y'all to see. Robert G and I were worried about that. We're worried about the grain orientation of the handle under any kind of stress. That's what we were talking about early on in the chat about it will snap, right? I should take 2 pieces of wood, side grain and straight grain, and show people how, you know this is you handle wood. Let me see here. And we know we all like to handle wood. Y'all love that? There's mine for the day. Handle wood. I'll find side grain, and here's one right here. I'm going to show y'all 2 pieces of wood and how one is essentially useless, but the other one's not. All right, this is a piece of, I think this is cherry right here. Right, but you see the grain orientation is the short way. It's up and down the short way. So I could take this theoretically, snap it. I might even actually be able to do it through that joint. but it's glued up here. Anyway, if I was to take a hammer and hit this, I probably could snap wood off of it that direction, as opposed to this piece right here. Let's imagine it's the same length. If I had it cut off here and I was to hit this down here, it wouldn't make a difference. And pretend that it's cherry also. So that orientation, this was the orientation that the handle was drawn on right here. When Wes's handle was drawn on, it was drawn on like this. And this is what we were talking about. I wasn't just yapping to say stuff. So we were concerned that because it's so thin and so small, that little handle would have snapped through these side grains, right? And what we were saying to do was flip it this way and do the handle that way. And if Robert G's in the chat right now, he can confirm what I'm saying is correct. Yeah. That's all. Just want to explain what I was saying in there. And I know you didn't have the chat open for a minute there anyway. Yeah, I just wanted to give an example, since I had two pieces of wood that I thought would be appropriate for it. But it turned out beautiful and it looks like it's going to hold up. So what do I know? These are real bendy after I put the curve cuts in them. Very, very bendy. I want all of them that smooth, man. Maybe I just got to cut down the size or bring them over here and individually go after each one of them. That glue does make it nice and smooth. I'm kind of a fan. One of the first things I did when I started doing woodwork was make something with wedges in it. And I made the wedges side grain like that, like I just showed you. And the wedges just snapped right away. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's why you don't do it that way. And then I read about it, of course. That's not bad. Hey, 20 likes. Double tap that screen. Thank you. It did. It turned out awesome. It looks awesome. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. So, and because it's a decorative item, it shouldn't really matter. As long as it's glued in there and it doesn't slam up against something. So that's going to be added to this right here. Kind of hard for y'all to see on that screen. I'll have to move the camera back. This is going to go into here. What I want to do is run this lighting, this LED lighting all along these edges without stopping. Boom. And so this is going to be kind of so bright you can't really get your eyes on it. That's kind of going to be its thing. But something like that was what I was toying around with. Almost like leaves of grass. What do y'all think? Leaves of grass. I need to take a picture of that so I don't forget. And this all came from that cabinet plywood that we dissected. Let me take the sweatshirt off. take these and do the same thing we just did with that one. We'll do it once over. We go back to our other piece. Yeah, it does kind of look like that, like a whalebone house up there where Carrie's stomping around up there. The natives up there, I think they made their houses up there with whalebones. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie. The trying to think of the native groups that lived up there. Not that's way opposite Indian country. But the Pacific Northwest Native Americans, I believe, built their houses out of whalebones. Seems like a good material, right? Shark ribs. Shark ribs. Yeah, I mean, you just kind of, I'm just going with it. Like it's, I've been wanting to do more abstract, decorative stuff. And I think I could probably, and I was saying this earlier today. Oh, did I take my microphone off too? Y'all can't hear a thing I'm saying. Hold up. Microphone went with my my hoodie there. Yeah, it's decorative, like an abstract. I don't know. I don't mind a modern abstract art. Big fan of like Roy Lichtenstein. That's pop art, but you know, I like Basquiat stuff like that. Can you draw? Can you paint? Then once you do that, then it doesn't matter. Break the rules, you know. Break the rules. Oh, can y'all see? Hold on. Hold up. I'm going to use that same glue because it worked really well for that last piece. I'm going to put this in here like this, though. We're going to smoothen off that end, too. I might cut this end piece off a bit. I asked Steve, Honey's Handmade, to make a chandelier with the ornaments he makes. It would be nice. Yeah, my Honey's Handmade. Shout out. Shout out, Steve. Nice guy and really fun to watch because he engages. He engages with his chat pretty hard. You know, sometimes like I remember I was there when he asked what he should do about something, and all of us came up with different answers, and then he just did it his way, and it worked. Of course, you know that's how that's just desserts for all of us. He's like, I'm just gonna put it back on my lady. You know, if it was me, I'd put it up against the felt sander because I'm not a turner, so I don't know anything about that. And then he's like, oh, see, it took him like 2 seconds. He put it on the lathe. He put a piece of sandpaper against the lathe. Oh, okay. That's all I had to do. That's it. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Welcome, Tom. Didn't see you in the chat. Sorry if I missed you, Tom. Plywood. Trying to get up to 3,000 subscribers, folks. I'm knocking at that door right now. Not that it means anything, and it doesn't mean I'm better than anyone. I just want to get to 3,000 subscribers for my own peace of mind. It'll help me get through the weekend where I know I'm not going to be here Monday, Tuesday. So definitely hit that subscribe. Click that like button. We're at 20 likes now. I'm trying to get up a little bit higher than that. Don't be stingy with the finger taps. Don't be stingy with the finger taps. I need smoke up in here. Totes adorbs. Hashtag girl dad. That's what. Smoke. Smokey doesn't have any children, does he? Miniature stuff, man. I mean, I don't blame people. I like making miniature stuff too. I see why people like it. Like a really well-made scale model. Who doesn't like that? $3K loading. I don't really care if I cut through veneer into particle pieces. I just want to get it relatively rounded off and smooth here. Seems like that glue is kind of nice. So I got a new filler glue. Heads up. HFT wood glue. Anybody use this stuff? Hustle full-time glue. That's what it stands for, HFT. Hustle full-time. Like that. The miniature world is whimsical. Is that Carrie that said that? Who said that? Carrie. Very Carrie thing to say. Whimsical. Like that camera up so y'all can see a little bit better. Man, it is just really ugly today. Sounds like I'm getting cried at. I probably got to go out and check that dog again. I tried to let these dogs in the house. One of them looked at me, didn't want to go in. All right, because I'm out here. That might be related. Yeah, that's definitely a dog crying. I got it. I'm all right. YouTube live. Sorry about that. Trying to make sure I'm being humane here, but it seems like there's not much I could do. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, it's like fairly nautical up here today. I don't know. Whimsical makes us think of fantasy. Never-ending story plug there. Wow, we're just riffing off at whimsical right now. I'm gonna let y'all riff on whimsical while I figure out what's going on with this. That glue, that HFT glue, is that what it's called? HFT, hustle full time. That glue, like I like it. It fills gaps nicely. Helps smoothing stuff out. Y'all like my English? Smoothing. Much happier with the smoothness. Much happier with the smoothness. Let's go after this end like what I did with all the other ones and chisel this down so we don't have a square end. I don't want anyone putting their eye out with it either, you know. Everything I've been doing, I'm trying to do no right angles on anything. Like I want everything to have like curvature to it. Well, I guess the base will probably start out as a right angle, but I'm gonna shape it some, I think. Terrific Tom, welcome. Other terrific Tom. Never plywood. I want to see what the message was though. What message did you retract? It couldn't be the plywood we all know and love. It's definitely a different Tom. You know you have nothing to fear when a man announces he's on his burner. You know that's a good dude. You know you're dealing with a trustworthy person. Hey, you remind me of the babe. What babe? Babe with the power. What power? Power of the voodoo. Voodoo, you do. What? Remind me of the babe. It's from Labyrinth, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, David Bowie from Labyrinth. Why does Jennifer Connelly look the same in that movie that she does now? Movie made like 1965. It's like, I don't know, it was made like in the 70s or 80s. Is that gonna elicit a response out of you? What I just said, or the skit that I just put on from Labyrinth? I don't know if I could put a never-ending story skit on. I need some like fake. I don't want to make everybody cry, but I would definitely reenact the scene with the horse in the not the horse the in the quicksand. Yeah, the horse in the quicksand. That's all I can remember. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. That's all I can remember. Someone said Hank Williams Jr. I said, what, the guy that did the Monday Night Football thing? Like, no, he wrote a lot more music than that. And I'd be like, did he? Both Cephas. I don't know how that came up. I think Hank Williams the third's a rapper. All right, let's see if this chat goes below this. Yes, it does. The farting bog. Is that what it's called? It's not bulbs. It's not gonna be any bulbs. I'm gonna show you. Let me show you. It's gonna be LED cobs or an LED cob, which I think is. Oh my gosh, got dogs crying again. All right, hold up. Let me show you all this, and then I'll try to let dogs inside because they seem to like want to torture me here. All right, this is an LED cob. It's actually a single. Looks like a single LED here. This is it right here, right? It's gonna run along. It's very bright, actually, quite bright. It's gonna run along the inside edge of this. Can y'all see that? The inside edges, and I think that will be good. I have to test it out. I want to connect the whole strip or use as much of the strip as possible. I may even wrap it around. Like, I'm not going to rule that out. It could be bent at a 90-degree angle. So this lighting could actually bend. No problem. Yeah, I think so. What you're talking about. Okay. Well, are you asking about this stuff? So this is the cob lighting right here. This strip going to be pretty bright. And then there's a lot of like complicated directions about how pairing it with certain things. You can get an app and actually control it with your phone. Lighting is crazy now, guys. You can get crazy powerful lighting. Doesn't use much electricity, and so that's what that is right there. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I agree, Wes. I think it's going to be real cool. I am concerned about that right there, though. There's a little spot in this piece that's there's not much support wood behind. And I think what I'm going to do is glue it. Now, this is like gluing two pieces of wood end to end, though. So it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Futile. There is a possibility I could take one of these grain-wise pieces of cherry I've got and maybe support it from the outside like that, potentially, and that wouldn't be noticed. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this little strip right here. I'm going to gluify it. And I'm going to put it against that spot that I'm worried is weak. I probably should put one. It's like a little spline, like a little splint. That's what we'll call a splint. And we're going to put it right there. I think it needs more glue. Be generous with the glue. Tell you what, it's all about finishing a project in a day. Unfortunately, you will never see me do that. You want to see someone finish a project in a day? Check out Wes Does It live stream. He manages to come up with clever projects that can be done during one live stream. I am terrible. Like I think it's like the opposite of the way I started, which is everything had to be finished in a day. And now I'm like, I take my time on everything. To extremes, maybe to a fault. To a fault. Yeah, I think I should put one on that side too. A little spline. Yeah, it's going to be a strip. It's going to be really strong lighting, and I'm going to paint these white, or large amounts of them will be painted white so that they will, light is gonna reflect from that. Probably what to do would be like back it with black right here, because then that black will absorb whatever's coming behind the. I mean, not a lot of it, but some of the light from behind. Similar concept to the way that you see like softbox is done for studio lighting. You all know all about that, right? Yeah, I'm gonna clamp this on after this though, right here, because this one has to get put to the side for a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna let that glue, and that should hold that spot. And it looks like this glue is good for softening up ends and whatever else I need to do to make these things smooth. I want them to be smooth and rounded off. If I have to angle grind them, I'll do that off the live, because I know angle grinders are not super popular on live streams, especially mine. Different tools for different tools for different fools. Not calling anybody a fool, but just because people are gonna take it personally. So now we got these two. I like the varying length now. Lengths, that's gonna help me get the grass motif thing I'm kind of going for. I know a lot about grass, bro. Trees, grass, tons of that kind of stuff. Rome was not built in a day, as I understand it. Rome was not built in a day. This one's better than the other ones, but still the end needs to be, I want to take the end off to a non-square shape, but otherwise this one's rounded off. This is my best piece. Why is it every time the first piece I bend is always the best one? Like, I don't understand. This was the first piece that I bent. I don't see any problems. I didn't take the curves in too far. Probably because I was in a good mood. I do my best work in a good mood. Right. So in this case, I did cut grooves into another shape that I built out of the oak, but I didn't end up being able to use that. It was not usable. So I did that on a live stream where I cut grooves into them. So I'm with you on that, Rumble. So, I mean, ideally, but I don't think I need to. These things are so low profile. They don't even need grooves cut in for them. But yes, I think it would be extra elegant If you could find a way to hide those strips completely, all the electronics, hide everything in there with grooves, you know, with recesses or that's really bad. Sorry, folks. Don't hold your workpiece when you're chiseling. That's bad technique. That's what you got to be doing. 2 hands on the chisel, guys. Sorry about that. I don't want to teach people the wrong way here. Mike was talking about re-edge tools today. I think all my chisels, like this chisel had, I took the edge down to nothing. This one on a number of them on the bench grinder and then resharpened them. So I think probably if the metal at the Harbor Freight Tools chisels is decent, like, and you could, I don't know what I'm saying. Never mind. I don't know the point I was getting at. As usual, I was hammering on Harbor Freight during Wes's live stream. So, ooh, that's not good. I have to be careful because I cut all these recesses in here. I cut all these curve cuts, and now I'm trying to round it off. I broke the edge off. So I'm going to have to take this side here, probably take that off. Uh-oh. Scrolling in the chat. If possible. I'm sure there's something else. I got to go to the other phone. It is almost an insult to the chat when I read like 5 minutes after somebody put something on there. Almost better. It is true. Almost better not to read it. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, that is the last piece of chat that I got in there. Hey, let's get that like number up to 30, folks. 30 likes. Double tap that screen, like this video, please, and thank you in advance. Please, in advance, thank you after the fact. That looks kind of sharp and actually not very safe. So we're going to sand that off a bit. I promise it'll be different. That's the best promise I can make. I have to be open and accept the fact that guys like Christmas Dong Dong are going to come in and make comments about my stuff because they don't understand, because they have a moronic level of education. And Gen Z is ridiculously and absolutely painfully unserious about everything. So I got to accept that there's going to be people who do that. That's part of this. When you make art of any kind, people are going to hate on it, but especially abstract stuff. Like, he doesn't know how to do art. Well, no, I do. And then there's the other side, which are the people that want me to do stuff with tools and build stuff. And so Can't satisfy everybody, right? It's got to be you and let the chips fall where they may. One of my favorite expressions. One of my favorite expressions. That's right. Wes said it. There's only haters when you're doing something. Uh, it's a mark of doing something. I think it upset me worse than anything when I started out that no one made any comments whatsoever about any of the stuff I did. Ridiculous stuff I made. I made some ridiculous videos. I think they were cries for attention in some cases. And I'm not getting any attention. And so it's frustrating. And then when you see that the attention that you could get can be pretty negative, you think about either you got to steel yourself to take a negative comment and just learning how to be a tougher person socially, or you're going to have to get out of it because it's going to upset you too much. That's soft and no longer sharp. And that is pretty good. Let me do a couple of these spots. I see some gluing that could probably be done in here. No, definitely right there for sure. $30 likes. Let's go. Yeah, man. It's easy. It's like no one wants to waste their time punching down, right? Well, most people, unless you're bullied. Generally, people punch up. That's how people work. Something about someone burns them because they don't have it or can't do it, or something about it makes them jealous. Or they genuinely don't like it, but they're the type of person that spends way too much time talking about stuff they don't like instead of doing things they like. Like there are people like, I don't care, I know what. Like, well, then do it. If you're interested in wood and you're flipping to different YouTube live streams that are wood, then and you don't like what you see, make a new one. 9 out of 10 times, those people got 2 subscribers on their YouTube channel, if that. If that. I would say they hate you because they ain't you, but it doesn't really rhyme. Maybe a little bit. Not bad for a dong hanger. Eco Woodcrafts, welcome. Hopefully you're being ecological today in all your decisions. This was one I was a little concerned with because of when we bent it, it wanted to bend real hard in certain areas, almost compression, almost broke under compression, but not tension. But it's different because I cut a bunch of kerf in it. So it's not going to break necessarily. It's just going to bend in an awkward way. And you can see how this one bent off the angles, but I'm still going to use it. I need it, I think, to make the piece complete. My vision, make my vision complete. Keep tapping that like button, folks. Get me up to that 40 likes. Shout out to Wes for being here. Shout out to Plywood, and who else did I see up in here? Everybody, Carrie, Curry, Leo, welcome. Everybody, thanks for being here. All right, guys, I think maybe we may not get up to that 40 likes. Unfortunately, it looks like I got to deal with this. I've been in and out. You guys saw me do it. The evidence is on here. How many times I went in and out to let these dogs in. They don't want to be in. They want to be out. It is horrible outside. So do me a favor, double tap that like. If you like my channel, become a member. I need subscribers. I also need members. Let's get that 35. We can get up to 35, right? Give me up to 35 likes and I'll stop bothering you. I promise. 35. I think when we come out tomorrow morning, these will be ready to assemble. Real quick before I end, I'll cut off the end here too. Somebody can give me that 35th like. Give me that 35th like. I need that 35th like. Interesting. This stuff smells like solid oak in a lot of ways, man. It even looks like it's weird. It looks like it when you cut it too. It is not at all. This is plywood. All right, so that looks better than it did. I would have liked to sand it a little more, but the dog's crying. I can't leave the dog out to cry. Leaves of grass. It's not pretentious at all or self-indulgent, my art. Like it. Pretend to like it and also pretend to be into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not pretentious or self-indulgent at all. Maybe a little bit, you know. But what are we if not self-indulgent a little bit? We're gonna work it like this. If I can get it into 360 degrees somehow, like this, that'd be even sleeker, right? That's tricky though. Let me maybe with dowels I can do that. What do y'all think? Get like a 300 and have, because otherwise it needs to be flat. It's gonna be too complicated. Can y'all see what I'm even showing you? Okay, there, right there. So if I can get it like this, and it's possible maybe with dowels that I can pull that off, then I think that's the coolest design. But right now, it's going to be flat like that, right? It's going to be like that, flat. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being at Dad's Workshop this evening. We'll do one in the morning and probably one in again in the evening. Make the mixing pieces. Also, we're working on this piece now too, waiting on a little repair strip to dry up. Appreciate everybody being here. We didn't get up to 35. Someone double tap that screen. Give me that 35th like. Come on, y'all. 35th like. Hey, thank you for being here, Woodchucker. Yeah. Double tap that screen. Give me that last like. Come on, y'all. Right before I go. Got it? We got it. Good. I believe. I believe we got. Oh, we got it. Thank y'all. Thank everybody for being here. Appreciate you, Wes. Appreciate you, Woodchucker, Caleb, all of the friends, all of the members, all my new members too. Anybody who's new, make sure that you bother us and like, I'm a member, talk to me. Don't do that, but just bother us a little bit. We love y'all. Do the next right thing. Thanks for being here and putting up with me for a little while and taking my mind off stuff. See y'all later.